Hey, good morning. What is up? Happy Friday. Woo! We got a weekend. We've got a weekend coming. Madison Card Show tomorrow, Janesville Card Show Sunday. What a weekend. It'll be my return to normality. Although this week I've been out and about, grocery shopping, post office. Made a Walmart run this week. New house. Stopped at the new house yesterday. Electricians were working. So it's kind of fun going through, like showing my layout, how electrician was asking, like, how's this room going to be laid out? Where do you want your boxes? So that was kind of fun, exciting. Like it's been like the first 2 months has been like destruction, like destroying the house. Now we're starting to build back up. So went into my office and I'm like, the card room, the eBay store, the shipping room will be an unfinished room. So I want to make sure that all the right people know, hey, by the way, I need electricity in this room. So told the electrician, I'm like, by the way, this is going to be a room. It's unfinished, but it's going to be an office, shipping area. Made sure to tell the HVAC guy that as well. I need heat. And then going over, came home and talked to my wife, gave her the update. And then we got the plans out to figure out the layout of the rec room in the basement. Basically where the TV is going to go. Because the rec room, if you've seen the videos for the basement, the rec room's kind of odd. It's kind of, it's more of a rectangle. But one wall is basically windows. So I've got to be careful where I put like my memorabilia in any cards, because there's going to be a lot of natural light in that room. And also I got to be cognizant of where to put the TV. So I think I figured out as I was down there yesterday, I'm like, I think we'll put it on that wall. And then I came home, talked to my wife. I'm like, this is what I was thinking. She's like, yeah, I think that's about the only, because if we put it on another wall, it would just look funny, and you don't want it on the wall facing the windows. At least I don't. So that was fun. I think they're moving. We have to move the electrical panel because it's currently in the space of where the bathroom's going to go. So that's on the agenda today, which it's like -12 right now. Actually, no, I think it's +12, but we've got -12 wind chills. So half the day, the house isn't going to have electricity, meaning heat, meaning I think I'll just avoid going over there today, going outside. Actually, I do. I have to run. I have to go to the Sheraton today, make sure the rooms are set up correctly, get the name tags down, and of course the post office run. Happy Friday. Terry's in the house. What's up, Terry? Good morning. Herman's in the card room. What's happening? Diego, what's up? Ed is here. David, good morning. Can't wait to hear about the card shows next week. We'll do card show review on Monday morning because I'll be at card shows both Saturday and Sunday. Again, Madison Card Show is tomorrow. I had to do a little swap outs yesterday. Had a couple cancels. So I was able to get one semi-regular back in, and then a new dealer. So I think we're up to 10 first-time dealers at tomorrow's Madison Card Show, and 30 dealers who were not set up in January, because Rodney's back in. He was set up in January. He'll just be in a different spot this month. So we're at 30 new vendors from vendors that were not at the January show that will be set up tomorrow, and 10 of those 30 are first time to Madison. So that's exciting. So Madison Card Show tomorrow, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, 9 to 3, free admission. We just talked about that. 125 sold out dealer tables. Sunday, I will not be a dealer table tomorrow, but I will be on Sunday in Janesville, Wisconsin. Also 9 to 3, free admission. Janesville Card Show at the Holiday Inn Convention Center just off the interstate, I-39. I'll have my bargain boxes. I'll have my quarter boxes. I'll have my quarter boxes, which I will be blowing out quarter boxes tomorrow because these will be some quarter boxes that there will be some new stuff, but some probably more stuff that's been at various shows. So this is kind of my blowout. This is going to be my blowout sale. And then I probably will set up in the Madison Card Show in March because I'll have a lot of regular dealers set up at the Chicago Sports Spectacular that weekend. So I'll probably set up myself because otherwise I will be in Arizona at spring training during the Rockford Card Show next month. And there's no Janesville Card Show in March. So Madison's probably going to be the only opportunity unless I did another show, which I kind of like my string of shows, my Madison, my I-39 circuit, Madison, Janesville, Rockford. I like just doing those 3 shows. So I will have my bargain boxes in tow Sunday in Janesville, volume discounts, and then you can buy an entire 4-row box of quarter cards for $100. So that's going to be on Sunday. I will also have supplies. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the delivery comes through today. My order from Columbia Hobby. I've got top loaders, penny sleeves, and card savers coming in. So I'll bring top loaders and penny sleeves to the Janesville Card Show. So that's Sunday. So that means this is the last Hobby Evolution until Monday. And then Monday, we get to review the Madison Card Show and the Janesville Card Show. So I'll look forward to that. What else is going on in the chat? Steve Ains Comedy is here. What's happening? Paige and Deanie Bean in the house. What's up, Dean and Andrew? Good morning from Minnesota. Jenny's in Minnesota. We got some snow. We didn't get Minnesota snow. We got maybe 2 inches. And we had the wintry mix, as the meteorologists and weather people like to say, the wintry mix. A little ice, a little sleet, a little snow, which made it normally, if it was a light, dry, powdery snow, I would have just shoveled yesterday. But it was like a frozen solid. Well, not frozen solid. It was frozen. It was a frozen snow. So it was actually kind of fun firing the snowblower up. It was a pain in the ass. I saw some neighbors shoveling, and it's like, oh, get that snowblower out. One neighbor was shoveling, and I saw his snowblower. Maybe he couldn't get it started. I don't know. Snowblowers and printers suck. Like, how come this is 2023? We have like the capability of like everything in our pocket in this little thing. But for some reason, the people who make stuff, technology and mechanical stuff, snowblowers, how come we can't get a freaking snowblower to like start on the first try consistently? Or a printer that freaking works. Fortunately, I have a printer upstairs that, I had to print a contract up for the Madison Card Show the other day. And there's some other stuff that I print occasionally, but it's like, oh, printers. What the hell's up with printers? Spooling. What the F is spooling anyway? I hate printers. I hate them. It is freaking 2023. Can a company make a printer that works worth a damn? And can a snowblower company make a freaking snowblower that starts on the first try consistently? Snowblowers and printers. So I got to use by the way, here I bitch about snowblowers. By the way, my snowblower started on the first try yesterday. So I did a little snow blowing. Where we at? Had to shovel the back for the dog. Where we at? It's cold today. No snow in the forecast for today or tomorrow. It's just going to be cold, which is perfect. Like I said, I love cold weather for card shows. Now, I don't want 20 below zero. It's 5 degrees right now. My computer says 12. It's 5 degrees. I'm sure the wind chills are cold. Let's see. 19 is the high today. 36 is the high tomorrow. That's respectable because it's cold enough where people aren't going to like want to do stuff outside. But it's not too cold where people want to refrain from actually stepping outside the house. So 36 and sunny is like a perfect Wisconsin card show day. 36, a little too cold, but not too cold. Sunny skies. We don't have to deal with frickin' weather. So looking good. Looks like we're going to be in the 40s next week. 50 on Sunday, which is kind of matching up to last year, right before I went to spring training. In fact, it was last year when I went to spring training. I flew out on a Tuesday. The Monday before I flew out, it was like 75. Now, granted, I did go to spring training later last year because of the stupid lockout. So I went at the end of March. March went out like a lamb. That saying was really big when I was a kid. Is March going to come in like a lamb or a lion? When I say that, people look at me like I'm an alien, like they've never heard that before. My wife never heard that before. Was it just an Anawan thing? Was it just Illinois thing? I would say Midwest, but my wife was raised in the Midwest. March comes in like a lion or a lamb. What's it going to come in like? We've got a week. It's going to come in. It's actually looking at the forecast. March is going to come in. Yeah. Kind of right in between. But we always said that. And we would like write like in second grade, we would like, what do you think, little Timmy? Is March going to come in like a lamb or a lion? Rah, lion. Me, lamb. So, yeah, a lot of people have never heard that saying, which shocks me. Like it was big where I came from, lamb or lion, March. So, so last year, the day before I left for spring training was like 75. I landed in Arizona the next day and it was 75, but then it got really hot. So Wisconsin was 75 on Monday. Arizona was 75 on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, it was like 343 degrees in Arizona. It was freaking hot most of the trip. And then the last 2 days, it was cold in relatively speaking. Well, actually, I consider the 60s cold no matter what time of year. It's just if it's 60 degrees today, yeah, that feels really good. It's still cold, but it just feels good because yesterday was 20. Anyway, the last 2 days I was at spring training, I brought one long sleeve, like light shirt, and I wore it. Which actually came in handy because my first grade teacher's son, who was a few years older than me in school, saw my shirt. It was my Anawan Brave shirt. And he goes, Anawan? He's like, what's your connection? And I'm like, well, I'm from there. And he goes, I'm from there. And I'm like, well, what's your name? And he told me his name. And I go, holy shit, I know you. My name is this. And he goes, holy shit, I know you. One of my best friends, Seth, he lived right behind Seth. I jumped on his trampoline in his backyard. We played backyard football. So that was a nice little touch. But it was like 67 degrees, and it's like, this is freaking cold. It's been 100 the last 4 or 5 days. I'm hoping it's like 80s and 90s, low 90s. Like that's comfortable. Because I'll be outside. It's kind of a shock to the system when it's 4 degrees today, and then next week I'm going to be in 95. That's a shock to the system. It's a good shock. I'll take it. Steve Ains Comedy says we'll be in Tampa, Florida Sunday, showcasing at Keenan Presents Comedy Showcase. So pumped. Also made 5 sales yesterday. Steve, very nice. That is awesome. That is awesome on both accounts. Very cool. Good morning, Victor. What's up? He says to Jenny, be careful. Red Light 34 in the house. Thank you very much. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. A big jump in subscribership this week, which is very nice. Scottie Dubbs, he's here. He's trying to make that run at Uncle Rich. We're going to play Name That Player. 93 Upper Deck Football. Who has their football knowledge handy? 93 Upper Deck Football. Uncle Rich in the lead with 40 points, but Scottie Dubbs is hot on his trail with 30 points. And nobody's even close after Rich and Scott. Then it's Max with 10, and then Zach and Porter have 9. Card Hobbyist has 9. Basement Card Collector has 7. Minneapolis Kid 7. Flipping Sports Guy 7. And granted, I know Basement Card Collector, I know he's in school, so his 7 points is impressive because he's not always with us. So we're going to play Name That Player with 93 Upper Deck. My buddy Bronco, who turned me on to this game, actually Darren Rovell turned me on to this game on Twitter several years ago, but I played it at one of the Madison card shows with Bronco, Baseball Card Illustrated, here on YouTube. And we played, what did we play with? 87 tops, I think. It's like, this is fun. Actually, I think the first time was impromptu. It was 89 tops. And then 87 tops we did on camera on his YouTube channel. So that is, and I'm like, this is going to be fun. Let's play it on YouTube. And so how did we start it? We're just like, let's just randomly do it. And then every once in a while, when I didn't have a topic, let's play Name That Player. And then it's like, I think I just randomly did it on a Friday because it's the free-for-all. We just do whatever we want, which is like every day here. And then it's like, let's just do this on Fridays. So now it's a free-for-all Friday thing. Bruce, what's happening? Has Ethan completely healed from surgery? I think, well, it depends on what that, I guess yes and no. He's completely healed from surgery. He is throwing again. I think he said he hit 85. So he's working his way back up. So his goal post Tommy John is to hit 100. So I think his fastball topped out in the mid 90s, 95, 96. Somebody can Google that for me. But yeah, he's throwing. He's out in Arizona and going through the rehab process. So he is healed from surgery. He is throwing. Now he won't be, I think he's in week 5 of the rehab process. Now he won't be back in like game form until probably the end of July. Like after the All-Star break, he'll probably do some rehab assignments in the minor leagues. And then of course it's like, will the Cubs need him in the bullpen? So that's another thing. When, you're a relief pitcher coming off Tommy John surgery, it's not a given that he's just going to get sent right back to Wrigley Field after his rehab. So, fingers crossed he comes back, and does really well in his rehab, and the Cubs say, come on back to Chicago. That would be August before he would be MLB ready. John, what's happening? There's a snowblower app for your iPhone. I wish, man. I wish. Where we at? Scottie Dubbs missing the Madison card show tomorrow because we have a small local card show where all the dealers are kids. That's a really cool thing. That sounds really cool. I really enjoy supporting the kids as they learn the business side. Absolutely. That is super cool. That is really cool. That's a great idea. And I also like, I think it's great that we as adults give kids cards and we want to get kids in the hobby. But I think even more important is what Scott says there is kids learning the business side. So sometimes, I was at the last card show I did a couple weeks ago in Rockford. If a kid came up and they pull out like 2 cards, I'm like, just keep them. You can have those. And some they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, you can just have them. But if they pull out like 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, I give them a nice discount, but I like to still charge them so they learn the transaction process. And it's a teaching moment, and it's great to give kids cards, but if a kid walks up to every table and a dealer's just like, oh, you can have this, what's that teaching a kid? that they can just walk up and get free shit all the time. And I don't want to teach kids that. So I do like, if they hand, if a kid comes up and grabs like 3 or 4 cards, like, oh, you can just have those. But if they like hand me $1, and then it's like they're learning the business side. So I think what's going on where Scottie Dubbs is, that's a really cool idea. That's really cool, because I don't think, at least where I grew up, when I grew up, they didn't teach us enough about adulting. They taught us algebra and chemistry and ugh. I know that crap's important too, but it's like the only thing that mythology taught me was I got a couple questions right at my dinner table watching Jeopardy. That's another. We talked about Jeopardy. There's always a category, like every time. Shakespeare, the Bible, and mythology is always, or ancient times. Mythology is pretty common. It's kind of either or, mythology or ancient times. But it's like, come on, cut that crap and give me a little more consumer's education. We had a consumer's ed class, and that was like it. One class. It was a semester, how to balance a checkbook, which they probably don't teach that anymore. And I know there's probably some people watching, and they're like, oh, you have to balance a checkbook. You have to learn how to do that. No, you don't. Nobody writes checks anymore. And I say nobody. I know there's still a few dinosaurs out there that write checks. Hey, I've written a check in the last year, maybe one. But my mom loves balancing her checkbook. And it's like, Mom, what John said, there's an app for that. Like, you can just check your account every day, and they do the work for you. Now, she's retired, so she has time on her hands. But still, come on, you don't need to balance your checkbook. Look at the app. So I'm sure they don't teach that. But I think they should teach more adulting classes. Hell, they can call it Adulting 101. But I think high schools, and I have no idea. I'm 23 years removed from high school. And I know every school is a lot different than the next. But at least in my 4 years of high school, at my high school, 23 to 27 years ago, we did not have enough adulting classes. And it was always like in finance, it's like, what's here, I'm drawing a blank. Time to go back to Finance 101. Compound interest. That's what I was looking for. And it's like in passing, they would teach us, like in passing, hey, if you save $1 and put it into this type of account, this is what it's worth when you're age 50. And it's like, 50? Jesus, people live that long? And now I'm like dangerously close to that number. It's like, shit. Anyway, Mike's here from Canada. What's up, Mike? Let's see. Jenny says, why have you not traded in the snowblower for a leaf blower? I have a leaf blower. Clark, good morning. What's up? Paul, good morning. John says, dudes complaining, sending things through thin air to be printed. Shit they could only dream of during Star Trek first aired, right? That is very true. Terry has never heard that saying. March coming in like a lamb or a lion? What were we doing in Anawan? Maybe too much of that. March, man. March comes in like a lamb this year. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, man, it's a lion out there. That's what we're too much Cheech and Chong. Uncle Rich, what's up? He's here to defend his Name That Player crown. We used to have a few high school or school card shows, and you could buy really well at those shows. Johnny Boy Cards in the house. What's up? T206 Kid in New Jersey, the quote was, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. So New Jersey, they taught it in New Jersey. So it depends. Here in the Midwest, sometimes it comes in like a lamb, sometimes it comes in like a lion. But I'm sure in New Jersey, it's probably, I mean, you would think based on the calendar, March is 31 days. And March 1st is directly after February 28th or 29th. So you would think, based on the calendar, March would always come in like a lion, but that's not the case because we have Midwest weather, and you never know what the hell's going to happen the next day in March in the Midwest. So sometimes it's a lion, sometimes it's a lamb, and sometimes, like this year, it appears it's going to be in between. Because I wouldn't, here in the Midwest, and I know this was, if you were in Texas, you would be like, oh my God, 41 degrees is freezing cold. That's actually pretty comfortable. So when is March 1st? Today's the 24th, 25, 26, 27, 28. 1st is Wednesday. So Wednesday, it's going to be 41 degrees, no precipitation. So that's just kind of in the middle. Like that, I would not consider 41 degrees on March 1st a lamb. But if it's raining or snowing, I would consider that a lion. I would consider that 41 on March 1st is a little more on the lion side than the lamb side. But by Sunday, what's Sunday? That's the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 50 degrees, but windy. And that's what we have to deal with in the Midwest. When we get spring weather and it starts to warm up, we have to deal with freaking 300-mile-an-hour winds. 50 degrees. That's pretty warm. So March is just going to come in like, neither lamb nor lion. At least somebody else in here has heard of that saying. March coming in like a lamb or a lion. Herman says in elementary school, we kept up with it on the calendar with a lion head or lambs on a picture of each day of the month. Oh, that's cool. I think we might have done that one day or one year. So Herman, so it's a New Jersey thing. It's a Georgia thing. It's an Illinois thing. Must not have been Wisconsin or Minnesota. Why? Because Wisconsin and Minnesota is always a frickin' lion. That's why. There's no lambs in March in Wisconsin or Minnesota. It's lion only. Cooter says, never heard your version in either or. Okay, so, and you're like New Jersey. Only heard March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. And so in Illinois, and that makes sense for Oklahoma, and I guess New Jersey. In Illinois, I mean, we could have 75 degrees on March 1st, but we could also have 8 inches of snow on March 1st. So I think that's why we have the either or lamb lion. But at least, hey, at least Oklahoma has heard the saying. So I think it's just Minnesota and Wisconsin. You were sheltered from the lambs and the lions in March. Baseball card curmudgeon, what's happening? Terry, what's up? Terry M in the house. Rich says, hit that like button. Thank you, Uncle Rich. I wonder if you got more subs because of the appearance with Ty on Tuesday. Absolutely 100% without question. That is why I have more subs this week. Nuke's Cards, what's happening? Good morning, Nuke. By the way, Nuke, I played some NBA Jam last week, and I'm still putting your box together that I need to get back out to you. Played some NBA Jam last week while I was sick. Have not played it since because then after being sick, I was behind on shipping. So I've been shipping and some listing. I've done some shipping and listing in the last few days. Nuke, I've got to ask, and I don't know if you play NBA Jam. Why is it so freaking hard? Is there a set? Can I like make it easier? The computer, like what really pisses me off with NBA Jam, and I want to like throw the computer on the floor. Like there's a second left and you're like, okay, an inbound pass and you can get but the freaking computer always pushes you down and you can't get a shot off. But on the other end of the floor, when the computer has the ball with 1 second left, they get the freaking shot off and they make a full court shot every freaking time. It pisses me off. Now I've only played like 6 games, but it seems like that's a trend. Good morning, Sal Dougie in the house. Happy Friday. Hope to see you tomorrow. Where are we at? Let's see. Where we at? Sal Dougie. There we go. Rich says, back in the day, some radio stations used to call an hour or two on Friday, flush the format. I've never heard that, but I like it. Flush the format Friday. The radio personality who used to do that passed on last year and was better known in Philly. I flushed the format unknowingly when I had the Bo Show on the Hawk 102.5. Remember, that's when I played Angry Johnny. And that didn't go over well when the dentist office had it playing in their office. And I had to I had to make note of every song I played during the Bo Show. Angry Johnny. Let's see. Rich says, the funniest thing about him is that one of my friends asked me to tape his program, and I had to explain that he was let go the week before. Ah, yes. Good old radio. Harlan in the house. Let's see. Jenny says, I'm supporting the young entrepreneurs as I bought a few cases of Girl Scout cookies. There you go. It's okay to say no if you've already bought some. I'm watching my figure. Rich says, no one teaches enough about adulting. That is true. There is nothing important about algebra. I would have totally agreed with you 20 years ago, but now I wish I learned more about it. There is so much. Algebra is powerful. I hate to say that. I wish I would have understood. I mean, I just don't have a math in algebra brain. Calculus. There's so much power, man, in algebra. Oh my God. I wish. And I tried when I went back to school and I was a little more mature and I cared about school, because I really didn't, like, until I went for the first 20 years of my life. I don't care. But I went back and I wanted to learn. I wish, and I'm sure some like colleges offer this, I wish there was like a statistics, a calculus class that taught it in terms of sports and like advanced statistics in sports, analytics. But when you're just throwing numbers and letters at me, it's like, what the hell is this? So I had to lean on my classmates to help me through and cruise through. But man, algebra, calculus, it's powerful. I wish I would have that type of brain to understand it. And I took calculus, like I attempted to take calculus like 3 times. I finally had to take it in summer school and got through it, thankfully. But it was just trying to learn calculus for me, like during the school year, because I was traveling with the athletics programs. I was moonlighting at the newspaper, and I was taking 4 other classes. So in the 5th being calculus, it's like, oh my God, I'd go to the tutor like 3 times a week. And so I think it did help me going in summer school. And I think I actually took 2 calculus. I think I took both calculus classes that were required in my degree in summer school. And it helped because it was like the only class I took in the summer. And so I wasn't traveling. So I was able to be in the classroom every day. I wasn't on the road. Summer's a dead period in college athletics. And I wasn't focused on 4 other classes. So I had a little more tunnel vision toward calculus in those times. John says, teach kids how to build a set. Teaching them transactionalism will lead them to moving into real estate and more lucrative respective asset building. Rich says, Jenny and they last all year long, so that's another good deal in your toolbox. Personal finance is now a required high school course in Georgia. Well, that's good. Should have been a thing a long time ago. I agree. We didn't have any required adulting classes when I was in consumers education. Was the only, and it was one effing semester. But we had to take all of these English classes where we just read frickin' Shakespeare. Like that. Like, really? What in the hell is Shakespeare going to help you in real life outside of if you get on Jeopardy, because there's gonna be a frickin' Shakespeare category on Jeopardy. Anybody? No. Replace Shakespeare with some gosh darn finance, accounting. Frickin' A. Girl Scout cookies is a must, Steve says. Dan in the house. What's up, Dan? For those Grinches who don't want to buy Girl Scout cookies, there's the link. I read that yesterday. I love it. I'm like Girl Scout. We're going to hit on Girl Scout cookies again. We talked a little bit about yesterday. It was more about like avoiding the Girl Scouts and buying the cookies. Today I'm going to talk about my just genuine no feeling about Girl Scout cookies. They just don't do it for me. Like some people are like, oh my God, it's Girl Scout cookie time. I have to have all the boxes. Like some people are like that. Some people don't give a shit. I'm like in the middle, but I am closer to don't give a shit. If they're in the pantry, and it's only like two kinds that I like. I like the Samoas, which I think they changed the name, whatever the hell they are. And then shortbread. Now shortbread, which is like the most basic cookie, but I love it. I'm not going to go out and buy Girl Scout cookies. But if they're in my pantry, if my wife gets suckered in at her office, I bought 17 boxes of Girl Scouts. Why? We're just going to eat them. But I'm very passive toward Girl Scout cookies. If they're there back in, and this is probably why I grew up to be a couch people. Back in like junior high, I would like eat a box of Girl Scout cookies and play video games. That's true couch people right there. I would frickin' play Madden football on Sega Genesis with a frickin' big slam of Mountain Dew. Remember Big Slams? They don't make Big Slams anymore, probably because they led to like couch people and heart attacks and crap like that. But I'd have a big slam of Mountain Dew, a frickin' box of Girl Scout cookies, go to town, and frickin' play Madden football on Sega Genesis. Not the picture of good health. I hate Mountain Dew now. As an adult, Mountain Dew, oh God, it's terrible. Mountain Dew is like the most, and I loved it as a kid and a teenager, probably because it was all sugar. It's so awful. There was, I was in an event, probably at one of the state championship events. And I think there was only like Mountain Dew and like Sierra Mist. And I'm like, I need caffeine. And I took like one sip of the Mountain Dew and I almost spit it out. It was so awful. Mountain frickin' Dew. The worst. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. Harlan says, my father-in-law taught statistics using baseball cards. Oh my God. That is a dream. I would actually really, if there was like I wish there was an online course to learn calculus, statistics using baseball cards or sports analytics. Like I would enjoy that. But if you're going to teach me based out of a textbook, pass. You might have actually learned something. I totally would have. And we would have been best friends. I would have been in his office, picking his brain like that. I would have enjoyed because I love numbers. Only if they're sports related. If you're going to talk about John and Jane left these points, the train was traveling. It's like a freaking train. Tell me about batting averages. I don't want to learn about trains. Jenny says, I'm very surprised Bo says not to balance checkbooks because of an app. as he creates spreadsheets of his eBay while there's an app. But there's no app for what I track. That's the thing. If there was an app that did those calculations, I would totally do it. But there's no app that tracks your sell-through rates. If there was, I wouldn't have a spreadsheet. I would let them do all the work. Spreadsheet's great because you are in the power to control the numbers. Parents need to teach their kids finance, like checkbooks and bill paying, and of course, sex education. Parents are the true teachers. I would agree with that. My parents were terrible with finance. My dad, my family joked that he was penny wise and dollar dumb. He would spend $2 to save 3 cents. I wish they would have had more financial education. But and maybe that was because of their parents and their parents and their parents. So ideally that should be the case, but it's not always going to be, would be able to come to fruition. John says, grow the hobby now means find the greater fool. Eventually you'll have more dealers than collectors. That's a fear. Promoting a card show, that's the fear. Is having more dealers than customers. I think this was more the case early on during the boom, I might add. There were a couple months early on in the Madison Card Show where there was big demand for tables, but then it was, where are the people? And then I learned how to promote better, and advertise better. And now we've got a nice balance of demand on both ends of the spectrum, and hopefully we can keep that way. But that's definitely something, and I shouldn't say fear, but that's definitely something that not just promoting card shows, but just in really in anything, keep a healthy balance in the supply and demand. And I know sometimes that's out of our control, but sometimes it is within our control. Mark, good morning. Christian worked in education for almost 25 years. There are many everyday skills that are not being taught in homes anymore that schools should pick up: personal finance, basic auto, home, and soft skills. I would agree with that. Now, I'll dogged on my dad about being penny wise and dollar dumb. Now, he also built the house I grew up in with his own 2 hands. And did basically all of the work. He even did. Now, he had a neighbor do the electrical work because he was a licensed electrician. But my dad, had his hands in on everything. So he may have been penny wise and dollar dumb, but he knew how to build a damn house and work with his hands, and rebuilt vehicles, and had, numerous skills, which his dumbass son was drinking Big Slam Mountain Dew, eating boxes of Girl Scout cookies, and playing Sega Genesis, not learning those basic skills. That, my friends, is on shithead Bo as a 12-year-old, not learning the skills of how to have more than 3 tools in his arsenal. So, Bo, that sounded more like the Macho Man. In Detroit, we say that March comes in like a lion and goes out like Barry Sanders. Smooth. Hey, I like that. Let's see. Rich says it's in the 40s today, and it's frigging freezing cold. It is frigging cold. It's not freezing, though. Freezing is not until you drop to 32. But that is effing cold. No matter what time of year, it's all relative. 40 would feel nice in Wisconsin in February, but it's still effing cold. It just feels better than last week when it was 20. Question for anyone that deals on eBay: does a card come out of your inventory when you sell it, or do you have to go to your cards? It automatically comes out. That's another great, and that's something that's overlooked with selling on eBay. A lot of platforms, well, I think probably most platforms are automated now, but back in the day, that wasn't the case. But say you go to a card show and you have like you're at a card show, and you sell a card, like then you have to go manually. That's why I completely separate my card show inventory from my eBay store inventory. Because if I sell, a bunch of cards, I don't have to spend the time to remove it from eBay. But no, if you sell anything on eBay, it automatically is removed from your inventory. Now, there are some cases where, and I've seen this happen typically with auctions, somehow it gets relisted, but it's sold. I don't have enough background on the exact situations, but I've experienced this. It's like I'll go look for something and it's like, oh, I ran this on auction, but why is it relisted? And it could have been me. It could have been an operating error. I don't know. Flipping Sports Guy says Philly already has spring stuff blooming. Haven't even got an inch of snow this year. That is crazy. We'll actually be near 80 on March 1st. Hey, that's a lamb. Dallas coming in like a lamb. Let's see. Where are we at? We're way behind. We're going to play Name That Player eventually. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, wow. We're way behind, aren't we? Where are we at? Jesus H. There we go. So John says card removed once sold. Rich says that because winter does not end where you are. That is very true. Jenny says March 17th, 2012 in Minnesota was 84 degrees. Warmest March day ever. That's very lamb-like. Paul has heard that saying in Massachusetts. Paige and Deanie Bean, spawn insane and pray for rain. I heard of that one. Yes, I've heard that one. Mark says in New Jersey, we can go from 30 to 80 in March. I've gone to Mets opening days where it's been in the 40s in early April and 82 on March 31st. Never know. That's why I don't schedule any trips to Wrigley Field before Memorial Day. Because after Memorial Day, you're probably safe. There may be some days in June in Chicago where it's cold. But April and May in Chicago, it is a crapshoot. You're playing Russian roulette with the weather. So I think I've only been to Wrigley Field once before Memorial Day, and that was because it was filming for that Fox sports show, 100,000 cameras. So they had me take a bunch of film. We were supposed to meet up for an interview. Actually, no, we did meet up for an interview at Club 400. So they have some video on file, but they didn't use any footage from Club 400. So I forgot. They did interview me at Club 400. So somewhere in the Fox Sports archives, there's an interview. Let's see. Rich says, Mark, the coldest day in April I remember was opening day 1985 at Shea Stadium. Nuke's card says, I do believe there's a difficulty setting. I'll check where to switch it tonight. Let you know. Thank you. Mark says, I was there too. I've been to warmer Jets games in December. Rich says, I'm a numbers guy and a son of a math teacher. Cooter says, Bo, every day of your stream should be called Toss the Topic as you rarely get into it. That is true. Trust me, algebra is not important. I disagree. I think algebra and basic algebra is, let's just use basic algebra, is extremely important. Now getting into a lot of other stuff, I would say it's probably not something that is used. Basic algebra. Like, what's a basic algebra equation? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's not talk about it. This is giving me nightmares. Okay. I'm looking like basic, and all of a sudden I see basic algebra formulas. Maybe, Rich, you're right. Oh my God. What the hell is that? Look at all those numbers and letters. You're right. Rich, you're right. F algebra. Throw that away like Shakespeare and mythology. Ugh. Okay. Rich, you're right. Cooter says, Bo, every day of your stream should be called Toss. Oh, we just said that. Let's see. Math important. I'm taking chemistry right now. I can speak to any 18-year-old that chemistry class will not help you at any point in life. It will if you're on Jeopardy. Periodic table of elements. That's another Jeopardy category. Periodic table. But I agree. I failed out of chemistry. in high school, and I think I ended up taking, actually, this was great. I took chemistry, and it was a year-long class in high school, and I was like failing badly. And we got like midway through, and my the high school advisor, principal, I don't know, whoever dealt with taking classes, I'm like, is there a way I can just like skip out like the second semester and take something else? So I dropped chemistry after the first semester, and I took sociology, which is much more useful in adult living than chemistry, unless you're on Jeopardy and periodic table of elements as a category. But what are the odds of that? Sociology, much more useful in life than chemistry. John says stats class was awesome. I hated stats, but it was not geared toward me. And when I mean geared toward me, like sports. Rich says, Mark, and that's how Gary Carter endeared himself forever to Mets fans by hitting the game winner. Grade above replacement student. There you go. Now you're starting to speak my language. Some get, some don't. I can't spell. Rich took advanced calculus in high school, and trust me, nothing in that class has helped me in my life. Mark says, Rich off Neil Allen, no less. John says stats has gotten tremendously easy thanks to spreadsheets like Excel. Dr. Jim calls that cheating. He's jelly. William S. is very important. Teaches to read, which is a need in today's world. I would disagree with that. It teaches us nothing. Read a book. Read an algebra book. There's lots of letters and numbers in an algebra book. Shakespeare. Let's see. When I was in high school, it was assumed you would get a job for life and receive a pension. It wasn't until the 1990s that started to shift. Yeah, that's a great point. Letters make no sense. Numbers do. Hey, I agree with that. Girl Scout cookies are just okay. Nothing special. That would be my tagline for Girl Scout cookies. They're okay. Nothing special. Johnny Boy Cards. My daughter is selling Girl Scout cookies now. Anyone interested? There you go. Hit up Johnny Boy Cards. If Girl Scouts and USWNT were smart, there would be cards in cookie boxes. Oh, that would be an awesome collaboration. That's a great idea. Mookie Chilson. I love that name. I could do a sleeve of Thin Mints all day. John says correct answer is Thin Mints. Here I am. What the hell is wrong with me? Here I am saying I don't like Thin Mints. I said it. Thin Mints do nothing for me. And I think algebra is important. What the hell? 12-year-old me that was eating a sleeve of Thin Mints, drinking a big slam of Mountain Dew, playing Sega Genesis, and ignoring my algebra homework? What the hell happened to me? Cooter says, in my opinion, Girl Scout cookies are a racket to cover administrative cost of the national organization. I would 100% agree with that. Very little benefit for the troop. I usually give them a donation and move on. That's a great point, because very little actually goes back to the local troop. And I think it's something crazy like 5 or 10 cents. Girl Scout cookies. Let's see. Funding troop. Oh, let's do this. How much do local Girl Scout troops make from selling cookies? It turns out that in addition to being tasty, Girl Scout cookies help girls and Girl Scout troops in a big way. According to the official Girl Scout cookie program page, 100% of the net profits, there's a key word in there, friends, net, from Girl Scout cookie sales. Oh, they do give us a net sale. Or about 65 to 75% of the cost of each box stays in your local community. That doesn't seem... This website says 22%. So, who knows what the right answer is? This website from 2016 says the going rate is $4 a box, but only 64 cents stays with the girls at first. So maybe they get some money. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm with Cooter on that. It's a racket. Rich says, Bo, at least you missed Jolt. I did not miss Jolt. I was a Jolt drinker. Because I was about, when Jolt came out, I was about 10. Right in that age where you just eat freaking, I mean, like literally, we ate sugar. Like Pixie Sticks and freaking Jolt Cola. How in the hell did we survive childhood? Yeah, I hit Jolt. I was on the Jolt train, man. And then in high school, Surge came out, and I loved Surge. I'd probably hate it today. I think they discontinued it for a second time. Flipping Sports Guy says, I just get the Aldi version of Thin Mints, exactly the same as Girl Scout cookies for $1.50. Rich used to prefer Thin Mints until those s'mores came along. Let's see. John says, people only look on the backs of cards for of 99 or SSP. There's a wealth of info back there most of us learned from. I learned, and this is true, I learned basic multiplication through sports, namely watching football, because I knew back then a touchdown was essentially worth 7 points. But if they didn't make the extra point, which back in the 90s, it was so close, it was a gimme. I knew a touchdown was worth 6 points. I knew a touchdown and extra point was worth 7 points. And I knew if you scored 6 touchdowns and made every extra point, that was 42 points. And I'm like, oh, that's multiplication. I just learned it accidentally through sports. Reading the backs of baseball cards, I learned statistics. Screw Shakespeare. I learned how to reading baseball cards. Where we at? Johnny Boy is in PA, but he does ship. That's been going on since the 80s when my friend Richard West, fellow columnist for Baseball Hobby News, coined the term EADS, everyone's a dealer syndrome. Ask Bo where his car battery is. It's... Hey, I now actually know where my car battery is. It's way in the back where you have to take it to the GD dealership to get it replaced. The guys at frickin' AutoZone won't even do it because it's all the way back there. You have to remove half the car. Frickin' Ford. Let's see. Where we at? We're going to play Name That Player eventually. We're not even an hour in. We're going to play 93 Upper Deck Name That Player today. Flipping Sports Guy says he built the house with his own 2 hands while Bo walked to school uphill both ways. No, mom gave me a ride to school 2 blocks away, which sadly is half true. Till I got older and realized that I could walk to school and be casually late. And then that grew into tardies in high school. Automakers want you to go to the dealer for repairs. They want you not to work on your car. That is 100% true. The amount of wax that is ripped on a daily basis definitely proves that schools need to provide more financial and statistic classes. Mookie Chilson says, I think eBay internet allows us to all be dealer-buyer hybrids. That's the difference in this era. I would agree with that. Barry Sanders left early, by the way. Let's see. Red Light 34 says, what's the most cards you have scanned at one time with Card Dealer Pro? It's a good question. At one time, I keep it at 100 just because it's organizational. That's kind of my max organized maximum organization. But like in a day, I've done like 1,200 in a day. Let's see. Jenny says he's way behind. As a moderator, I'm dropping the wrench on y'all. When he gets to the point, he starts Name That Player. Kyle, what's happening? Good morning. Let's see. Jen, what I posed in our group chat yesterday. Let's see. Either Uncle Rich or Aunt Jenny is always right. Good lesson. Mookie Chilson says, who could have predicted algebra evangelism would be the topic today? Never would have thought that. What's the atomic mass of xenon? Exactly. Hey, if that was Final Jeopardy, it would help me out. Sale minus shipping minus fees equals profit. Simple equation. John says 7th out of 8 weeks of accelerated Chen right now. Cannot wait until next Sunday. Stats class can help you in life, so that can matter. I felt like Bo yesterday as I was putting back the garbage and recycling cans. Tag-alongs are great. Let's see. Girl Scout cookies and algebra. Topic du jour. And one of my neighbors walking her dog said a hearty good morning while I was doing that task. Well, it wasn't in my neighborhood. Let's see. I've never bought a box of Girl Scout cookies. Herman, really? I greeted her and was secretly annoyed because I was not in a people greeting mood. Sometimes if I see, like when it's like warm, not when there's freaking snow on the ground, but like in the summer, if I go to like my mailbox or if I'm going to get the cans from the curb, if I see people walking like a few doors down, I will like either meander in my garage or I will like quickly go to the mailbox and like with my head down so I don't have to greet people. I am like the most antisocial neighbor in the neighborhood. Let's see. Cooter says the field of accounting I went into required use of algebra, geometry, and an understanding of chemistry, so teachers were right, except for the part that you won't have a calculator at all times. Yeah, right? Remember that. No calculators. You're not always going to have a calculator handy. Wanna bet? Where's Mrs. Adams? Mrs. Adams! Guess what's in my pocket at all times? It's a calculator. And it's got stuff that a regular calculator can't do, like what those $100 calculators can do. Nah. Let's see. Half of my taxes go to a military protecting a geographically isolated country that's never been invaded. Flipping sports guy loved Jolt. Herman says house full of boys. For 16 years, we support the football, baseball teams, and the Boy Scouts. LOL. Herb Washington's career batting average taught me nothing, however. The car battery is in the car. Yes. I know approximately where in the car it's at. Herman says local radio show here had a Friday segment called Jolt in the Morning. They would prank call people and then give them a 6-pack of Jolt Cola for their troubles. John, I think you can call the War of 1812 an evasion. Did I say evasion? Invasion. Let's see. Cooter says, John, we just need to build a wall high enough to stop balloons. Why is someone actually asking a card question during Bo's shows? No one here cares about cards. Steve says, hey, we're getting close to the end. We're about to play Name That Player. Steve says, so what is your net profit on a card you sell for $1.50 with free shipping? Around 40 cents. Around 40 cents. Terry says, if you're still looking for number 10 envelopes, Sam's Club has 500 count boxes for the peel and stick. $15. Very nice. Costco has them online. They're a little cheaper. They used to be $25, I think, online. They're down to, I think, $18. Which roughly equals what Walmart, that's like 3.5 cents, which is still more than I want to pay. But it is what it is. A calculator and a flashlight is always handy now, and it's right here in my freaking pocket. Oh, I can do so much stuff with this thing. All right, let's play Name That Player. Name That Player. Oh, shit. Uncle Rich with the lead. I think that happens every Friday. I pull this off my cork board and I drop it. Uncle Rich has the big lead. 40 points for Uncle Rich. Scottie Dubbs has 30 points. We're going to play 93 Upper Deck. Flipping Sports Guy goes cheap and gets the gummed envelopes. I don't lick, but the thermal label seals it nicely. So I've run into issues with that, actually, because I have started doing that. They are cheaper. But the envelopes are not good. They tend to these are like a heavier duty. These are the little more expensive. But what I found on the gummed envelopes, and I don't know which brand you're buying, but the ones that Walmart sells, this here, the glue that they use here comes undone very easily. You get the Walmart; those suck. I've run into some issues with those for 2 reasons. The glue here, I've had a couple customers report. Fortunately, the cards were still intact, but they did say, hey, by the way, I got the card. It was in good condition, but I just want to let you know this was like completely open, like it came unglued. Also, if they are if they're gummed like this, the label, if you're using 4x6 labels, and if you put it, depending on where you put it, if you put it here, it's going to leave this lip opened, and that lip can be torn off really easy in transit. Or if you put it smack in the middle, it's going to have a lip on each side. So I did follow that. Oh, you use the number 6. Okay, then it's going to, I use the number 10 because I have a lot of 2 and 3 card transactions, which it's better to use the long envelopes for multiple cards. So yeah, if you're using number 6, the problems I just talked about will not affect number 6 envelopes, but they do on number 10. So I've gone back to seal and stick. Let's see. Cooter says, name that player means it's time to start the pre-cleaning lady cleaning. Have a great weekend. Have a good day, Cooter. John says, number 10, 3/4 security, self-sealing, 5 cents, and well worth it. Let's see. John says, why are you using such long envelopes? Because I sell multiple cards, especially when it comes to like 7, 8 cards in an envelope you use. And I don't have any card savers. They come today, but card savers, you put card savers, boom and boom, and it's perfect. When you use a shorter envelope, if you do 7 or 8 cards in that, it becomes thick, and that's not good. So that's why I use the long envelopes, much better than short envelopes. Flawed Thinker says, I use the number 10 security Target gummed envelopes, $1.25 for $2. Just use the thermal label to hold down the tab. The problem with that is it's still going to have a lip unless you tape it or lick it. So let's play length, not girth. There you go. Yeah, it spreads out the weight in the girth. Spreads out the weight in the girth. Let's play name that player. Got to lick it before you stick it. That's right. 93 Upper Deck. We've got some odds on here. The odds of finding a pack containing an America's Team card are 1 in 25 packs. A Future Heroes card are 1 in 20 packs. And a Trade Upper Deck card, 1 in 72 packs. 1993 Upper Deck football. Uncle Rich with the demanding lead at 40 points. Scottie Dubbs with 30 points. And then we've got Max is alone in third place with 10. I haven't seen Max in the chat this morning. And then we've got a tie. We've got some bricking. Commanding. What did I say? Demanding. Rich has a commanding lead. Let's unbrick these effers. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. First player. This is going to be tough. First player is a linebacker. When does the score reset? Well, I've tried to do. Uncle Rich is not as good with football, so we're trying to get creative and play catch up to Uncle Rich. Houston Oilers linebacker. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he was a really good. He was like a multiple-time Pro Bowler. Lamar Lathan is not correct. Richard Webb is not correct. Marshall is not correct. Brazile is not correct. Let's see. He went to the U. He went to Miami, the Hurricanes, linebacker, Oilers. Herman, correct. Michael Barrow. Herman, you're catching up. See? You're at 4 points. Oh, let's see. Herman with the first point of today's game with Michael Barrow. Now we're going to the Jets. Is Mark Marinello still here? Rich probably knows his Jets. I remember this guy. I think I remember him for a different team. Let me check. Oh, maybe I don't. This guy, tight end, New York Jets. Born in Chicago. Went to Nebraska. He was a Cornhusker. He was, let's see, not Schuler, not Brady. Let's see. He was a first-round draft pick for the Jets. Not more. Rich, you got it. Johnny Mitchell. Rich just beat Herman. Johnny Mitchell, tight end, New York Jets. Uncle Rich with 41 points. Okay, now we go. Oh, Herman, and I know Herman's not a Falcons fan. This is kind of a cool image. How many people have TCDB open? Let's see. We've got a linebacker, Atlanta Falcons. Went to Valdosta State. Oh, Tuggle. Yes, Flipping Sports Guy. Flipping Sports Guy with 8 points. There's Scottie Dubbs. Oh, what's Cooter say? Justin, FYI, many times I get multiple card savers from you. The cards have shifted side of the envelope, and the envelope is bent to help where the card savers end. So maybe I should tape them down to the paper that I include them, shifted on one side. So that's not good. That's what I don't want happening. Jesse Tuggle has a home in Hartwell. Very cool. Shifted to one side of the envelope. Okay, so yeah, I'll have to tape to the paper. Here we go. Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills. Cornerback. Longtime Buffalo Bill. I'm going to give it to Christian. Nate Odoms. We're going to give that to Christian. Christian, are you on the board? For the first time, Christian on the board with Nate Odoms. Christian. Now we go to New England. The Patriots. Is this a linebacker? Yep, another linebacker. New England Patriots. Oh, wow. Didn't even focus, but Christian nailed it. Andre Tippett. Christian, 2 points. All right, Kansas City Chiefs coming up. Another linebacker. This is a linebacker pack. This is a little tougher. Huntsville, Alabama is his hometown. Went to Auburn. I think he started his career with the Minnesota Vikings in 1988. And then he played half the season of 88 with the Chiefs. And then at least through 1992, linebacker. A little tougher. He does have a common last name, but it's not Thompson, nor is it Davis. Auburn, Huntsville, not Smith, not Thompson, not Davis. Let's see. Let's go once, going twice. Nobody got it. Chris Martin. No points awarded. All right. Now we've got a defensive end. San Diego Chargers. Rich says stop. What are we stopping for? Okay, moving on. San Diego Chargers. Chris Martin actually had a card company in the 1990s. Really? Rich needs to pee. Like, why are we stopping? There's no timeouts and name that player. The dog tag company. That's cool. San Diego Chargers defensive end. Not Leslie O'Neal, not Marion Butts, not Natron Means. I think this might be his rookie card. He was a rookie in 92 or 93. Herman. Yes, Herman got it. Yes, Mims. Chris Mims. Herman with the point. Making a little run, Herman. That's his 5th point. Does that put him in the top? I think that puts Herman in the top 10. Let's see. These are some stumpers. These are tough. This is another tough one. No gimmies in this pack. New Orleans Saints. Wide receiver. This is a difficult one also. Played for the Saints for quite a while. He grew up in Texas. A lot of NFL players did. He went to LSU. It is not Ricky Jackson. It is Martin. Yes, Uncle Rich. It is Eric Martin. Eric Martin, Uncle Rich. No, we cannot do non-sports. You can do that over on your channel. Let's see. And we're not doing hockey or soccer here either. Okay. We've got San Diego Chargers tight end. Oh, he grew up down in Illinois, but downstate. San Diego Chargers tight end. I don't think anybody's going to get this. It is a common last name. He grew up in Glenwood, Illinois, and went to Michigan. He was a Wolverine, not Donald Frank. This is going to be really tough. Common last name, which is not Jones. He was a captain of the Chargers. Wow. Let's see. Not Walters, not Gordon, not Williams. Walker, Terry. Derek Walker. Yes. Wow. I didn't think anybody would get that one. Terry McDaniel. I think that's your first point. Terry. So both Christian and Terry with points for the first time today. Card Hobbyist has never heard of him. Let's see. We're down to 3 cards, I think. We've got a rookie card. Oh, we've got a gimme coming up. We have 1 gimme. And that's a tough one. We have 1 gimme, 1 tough one, and 1. This guy you should probably get. Somebody will. I shouldn't say you should. I would not have gotten this guy coming up, but I think somebody in here will get it. Because I'm going to give a hint that will probably give it away. So this guy, Atlanta Falcons defensive end. I don't recall him playing for the Atlanta Falcons. However, I do remember him playing for the San Francisco 49ers. He spent several years with the 49ers. His stats on the back of this card go back to 1988. And he was with the 49ers, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. I don't remember him playing for the Falcons, though. Let's see. Not Ronnie Lott, not Bill Goldberg. Yes, Herman, it is Pierce Holt. And there you go. I think that 49er hint gave it away. Herman was the first to get Pierce Holt. Herman making a little run today. 6 points for Herman. 2 cards left. One's really easy. One's going to be really hard. Here's the hard one. Let's see. This is a Denver, and it's a rookie card, so I've got to get creative here because the name is on the side. It's a Denver Broncos rookie. He left Atlanta about as fast as Favre. Victor says Herman is on fire. Rich confirms the 49ers did give it away. Okay, we've got a couple guesses on this Bronco rookie. Neither are correct. Defensive end. Yes, flipping sports guy. It is Williams. It's Dan Williams. So Dan Williams was the first-round pick of the Broncos in 1993. He was 11th overall. Dan Williams, flipping sports guy. You're at 9 points, so I think you are now in a tie with Zach and Porter and the Card Hobbyist with 9 points each. All right, now we have 1 card left. Get your fingers ready because this is an easy one. Get those, and it's easy for me also because I don't have to cover the name because it's a checklist card. Let me just make sure there's no name on it. There's not. All right, are you ready? Get your fingers ready. Easy, boy. Flipping sports guy has the fastest fingers. There you go. Look at him. Look at the answers coming in, rolling in. Oh, my goodness. Flipping sports guy was the fastest fingers. Jim Kelly, flipping sports guy, moves into a tie, I think, for 3rd place. with Max. Max and Flipping Sports Guy with 10 apiece. Jim Kelly. So our points, we've got Uncle Rich only gained 2 points. Scottie Dubbs did not gain a point. So Rich has extended his lead to a more commanding 42 points. There, I said the right word. 42 points for Uncle Rich. Scottie Dubbs is in second place. He still has a commanding second place with 30. But Flipping Sports Guy moves into a tie for third with 10 points along with Max. Let's see. So third, fourth. So in a tie for fifth is now a 3-way tie. Zach and Porter, or no, it is a 2-way tie. Zach and Porter and the Card Hobbyist. That's right, because Flipping Sports Guy went 9 to 10. So 9 points for Zach and Porter, 9 points for Card Hobbyist. And then we go to 7 points for Basement Card Collector and the Minneapolis Kid. And then Herman has 6 points. So Herman, I think that puts him in the top 10. Herman with 6 points. Diego has 6 points. And then I don't think anybody has 5 points. And then we've got, let's see. Victor has a point. John, that 70s Card Show, has 3 points. Matt, Royals 417, has 3 points. Dan, Korean Cardboard, has 4 points. Let's see. Mark Marinello has a point. Tom Gibson has a point. Garvan has 2 points. Ken, Beans Ball Card Blog, has a point. Brendan has 3 points. Christian got 2 points today, his first points. And Terry McDaniel got his first point today. So name that player. We're going to do baseball next week because spring training is upon us, and I think we actually have some games. I think games begin this weekend, maybe. Yeah, I think Saturday or Sunday is the first spring training game. So we will have actual baseball games in Florida and Arizona this weekend. So we will play baseball. I don't know which pack we'll do. Let's see. We've done that. That's football. Maybe we'll do 94 Fleer. We've done 87 Tops fairly recently. We've got, I think this is 88 Donruss we've done 97 Stadium Club. That's another 88 Donruss. So maybe we'll do 94 Fleer before we go back into the 80s. We'll see. Maybe I'll pick up some more packs this weekend. Okay, let's get caught up, and then we'll call it a day. Mike says, get a 90s Upper Deck hockey pack going next. No, I have some, not up there. They're not in arm's reach, but I have some 90s hockey packs. I think we did it just playing around one time. Maybe next week we can just for funsies. Rick says, hit the like button. Thank you, Rick. Like and subscribe. There's Bronco. What's up? Anyone who wants to play Name the Player in person tomorrow, stop by my table at the Madison Card Show. Bronco, I'll have you back in the mezzanine where you were at 2 times ago. So I'll have you back there in the spot where you set up, where I was in the middle. Black Diamond Supply, one of our sponsors this month, will be in the middle there on the mezzanine. Bronco's going to be over there. Sheena's going to be up there. Let's see. Who else do I have? First time dealer Jeremy, I think, is going to be across from Sheena. Who else do I have up there? Let's see. I've got Andrew. He's going to be near the elevators. And then I've got 2 other tables up there, and I can't remember who's in those spots. I don't have my map on me. So stop by, see Baseball Card Illustrated. Bronco will be set up in the mezzanine at the Madison Card Show tomorrow. He'll have packs to play. Name that player. Victor says Cubs tomorrow at 2 p.m. Oh, baby. Yes. Cubs baseball is on the air. You should grab a random stack of mixed sports and play. Let's see. He has a Sheena. Is she a punk rocker? Sheena is male. And it's spelled Shiina. Great dude. Great dude. He's been a dealer for me for several months. And he's a great customer out of my bargain boxes. Bought a couple boxes worth of cards at the Rockford show from me a couple weeks ago. So Madison Card Show tomorrow, 9 to 3, free admission, 125 dealer tables sold out. 30 of those dealers were not set up in January. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff at the show tomorrow. 10 first-time dealers to Madison, 30 dealers that were not set up a month ago. Sunday, you can find me in Janesville. I'll be a dealer. I won't be a dealer tomorrow, but I will be in Janesville on Sunday for the Janesville Card Show. It's free admission, 9 to 3. I think 100 tables at the Janesville show. I'll have my bargain boxes, and I'll be blowing them out. You can fill a 4-row box for $100. So looking to get rid of some bulk in Janesville on Sunday. By the way, if you're going to be in Janesville on Sunday and you might be interested in bulk commons, let me know. I can cut you a really good deal on bulk commons. So I'll have supplies also on Sunday in Janesville. Penny sleeves and top loaders for sale. So stop by and see me in Janesville on Sunday. That means with a full weekend of card shows, I will not have Hobby Evolution Saturday nor Sunday, but it'll be a big show on Monday, really big show. Monday morning at 7 a.m., we'll review both Madison Card Show and the Janesville Card Show. So no Hobby Evolution till Monday, as Uncle Rich says in the chat. Correct. I've got a busy day ahead of me, a lot of shipping, and I've got to go to the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive, make sure everything's set up and good to go for tomorrow. Herman, getting the last word in, says, going to get back to sorting and entering stuff on TCDB. Try a mail day video with a new setup. Very nice. That's what I had for today. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Please visit us tomorrow in Madison at the Madison Card Show and on Sunday at the Janesville Card Show. And don't forget to watch Monday morning, 7 a.m. for the next episode of Hobby Evolution, and have a great weekend.